Hello students, I welcome you once again to my class. So this is part 3 of the story, Discovering Tut, the saga continues. So how King Tut died, or how old was he at the time of his death, that has not been known till date. But King Tut's demise was really a big event, even by royal standards. Why? Because he was the last pharaoh of his dynasty, of his family, and his funeral was as if it was the death rattle of his dynasty. Next, the writer gives a very brief description of Tut's family history. It is said that Amenhotep III, whether he was Tut's father or grandfather, that was not known, but he was a very powerful pharaoh. Amenhotep III was a very powerful pharaoh, and he ruled for almost 4 decades and was a very powerful ruler, a very good ruler. The time during which he was reigning the kingdom is called as the golden age of that kingdom. He was succeeded by his son Amenhotep IV. Now you must be knowing that in royal families there is a custom that names are given, new names are not given to the successors, to the grandchildren or the son, because the name of their father or grandfather is only kept as it is believed that they were the favorite ones of them, and only they add 1, 2, 3 after the name. So that was the system that was followed in this Egypt also. So Amenhotep III was succeeded by his son Amenhotep IV, and Amenhotep IV also initiated one of the strangest period in the history of ancient Egypt, because Amenhotep IV, he promoted the worship of Aten, the sun disk, and he changed his name to Akhenaten, or servant of the Aten, and he moved his capital from the city of Thebes to the new city of Akhetaten, which is now known as Amarna. And what he further did is, Amun was a major god of Egypt. Amenhotep IV, or Akhenaten, he started destroying the temples of Amun and the images of Amun. He smashed his images, he closed his temples, and the time there was a complete chaotic time prevailed in Egypt during his reign, as has been stated by Ray Johnson, the director of the University of Chicago's Research Center in Luxor, which was the site of ancient Thebes, and the family that had ruled for centuries was now coming to an end. And at the end of his reign, Amenhotep III, or Amenhotep Akhenaten, he became a little crazy, mad, a crazy person. After his death, for a very short period of time, a ruler came into power. His name was Smenkhare, and he appeared briefly, and he did not do anything, did not do anything remarkable that he would be remembered for his deeds, for his work. And then it was Tutankhaten, that is King Tut, shortly known as King Tut, full name is Tutankhaten. He came into power. He was a boy at that time, just a teenager. He soon changed his name to Tutankhamun because he was a worshipper of Amun, the major god of Egypt. And he restored the old ways. He reigned for 9 years, and then all of a sudden he died. So his death remains a mystery till date. Why he died, how he died is not known yet. But regardless of his fame and the speculations about his fate, Tut is one mummy among the many in Egypt. How many mummies are there? No one knows. The Egyptian Mummy Project, it began its inventory in late 2003, and so far it has recorded 600 mummies have been found out. Now the CT scan machine scanned the mummy of Tut from head to toe. 1700 digital X-ray images were formed in cross sections. Tut's head scanned in 0.62 mm slices to register its intricate structures, and it takes a very, you can say, frightening detail. With Tut's entire body similarly recorded, a team of specialists who are specialists in radiology, in forensic and anatomy, they began to find out the secrets that the winged goddesses of a gilded burial shrine protected for so long. That means the mummy of Tut. They tried to find out what might be the reason behind his death. So that again the writer returns to that night, that evening rather. It was 6 o'clock in the evening. The weather was very rough, and the workers, they were busy in bringing out the mummy from its tomb. So the night of the scan, in which the workmen, they carried out Tut's mummy from its tomb, they were carrying it like pallbearers. Pallbearers means bearers who carry a person on a coffin on their shoulder. They climbed up a ramp, and then they climbed some flight of staircases, and outside it was a sandy wind was blowing. A sandy storm, you can say, was blowing, because of which what happened, because a sandy wind was blowing, the scanner was not working. Because of the sand, the fans of the scanner, they stopped working. Somebody said it must be the curse of the pharaoh. That is why the scanner was not working. Eventually some substitute fans were brought, and again the scanner started working, and then the CT scan was carried out. Now once it was done, the mummy was again taken back, and it was kept in its cemetery. It was taken back in its tomb, and Zahi Hawass, he was feeling very relieved, because it was a great work that he had to do, and he was feeling very relaxed that finally he was able to complete his work successfully. But the mystery of the death of King Tut still remained a mystery, though nothing you can say substantial was found out from the CT scan. How he died, what was the reason behind his death, that could not be found out. Okay students, so this is the end of this particular story.